All right, so you have a 100 series, but not just any 100 series, an LX470 specifically. This is an LX470 specific video. And if you're anything like me, you just spent $800 on a Prinsu roof rack, realizing it may not fit, and that's why I'm making this video. Wasn't going to before, but here we are. We're gonna prove in this video that they do fit. Now, I know that they do. I just was freaking out a little bit and checked the forums. They do fit, but there's some finessing, and every video out there pretty much only shows the 100 series Toyota Landcruiser. So here's a video on the 470. And before you get into this, please note that there are plenty of options for roof racks for the LX470s that, well, right up, they fit, as far as I know. I just think that the Prinsu looks the best, which is why I went for it. And they have a lot of supporting modifications on the Prinsu website that I think is super cool. And a lot of other companies don't seem to offer quite that many options, so that's why I went for this. You can go for something else and not have to deal with this. Starting off, all the caps for the roof rails are off, and I'm just going to take out these bolts. And if you're wondering, it's a 12 millimeter. Okay, so the rack is off, factory rack. Next thing I'm going to do is open this up, see where the mounting points are, because it looks like it would only maybe line up on the back, so we're going to find that out now. According to that forum, that's not really how that was supposed to work out, but we'll see. So this bit is exactly what we're after. Let's check out those mounting points. So I think the big problem, maybe, and I still have to get it up here, it looks like this rear one's going to be fine, but this is pushed too far back. It looks like it needs to be more like right here. Hopefully the camera's picking that up. And then there's another one about right there. But we'll go ahead and take a look at that. So it's exactly what I thought. I knew that was going to be an issue. I was hoping this wouldn't be. But it is, and I have nothing to cover that. Supposedly there's supposed to be mounting points there, and there should even be some here, just because at the end of the day this is a 100 series Landcruiser, and that's what the internet said, but you know, it's the internet. So we will mark these spots out using this here, and hopefully have some mounting points under there. I may just take the weather stripping out to look at it, assuming I wouldn't break anything. Okay, so if you come up here, we're at the front of the car. You can take this and pull it back just a hair. We're not going to go crazy, but there are your mounting points right there. And now we're at the middle of the car, and as you can see, same thing there and there. So that's a piece of cake. Honestly, the only issue with this now is that's going to be bolted down. That's fine. That'll be fine, this will be fine, but now these are just open, which means I'll probably just stick the OEM bolts back in there to seal that off. Let me zoom out a little bit. And then I believe they make covers for this, and I'll just get to that later. So for right now, we'll measure out where we need to cut these holes, and then just drill straight down into these, hoping I have a hole saw that's big enough to do that. Also got a couple of these for the cooler. Nice. Well worth the 700 or 800 bucks it was. You're also going to need to take this rubber bit out, and this is in the back. Okay, so there are actually videos of this, so this isn't really that important. But this is the spacer for the bolts to go through, and then the roof rack will sit on top of this. So you're going to need a 22 millimeter hole saw to drill down into the trim. You technically have seen people do this. You can just take the whole thing off. I'd rather not do that, so I'm going to drill these holes in there and screw it up enough, then I'll take it off, but I'd rather not do that. All right, so those are all drilled out, hopefully in good enough spots. I didn't record anything because it actually takes quite a bit of pressure to get down in there, since it's a little bit of metal. Some of these are off center a little bit, but hopefully it works. So that's that. I'm gonna go ahead and take these bolts out, fill this with silicone, and at least mount the one side, and then I'll move on to the next. Okay, so at this point, it's actually pretty straightforward. There are a lot of videos on this on YouTube and stuff. This is pretty much where you'd be at with a Toyota Landcruiser, and this is more so just making sure that there were bolts in the places that they said there were bolts on a Landcruiser for the LX470. At this point, both rails are on. They are loose though. Took these bolts that were back here and moved them, they were back there, moved them up here because they weren't rusty or anything. Put silicone on those. All these are siliconed. And now I'm going to put the crossbars on. I'm going to clear this up. And then the last thing I'll do is the wind fairing, or whatever that's called. But let me clear this off and get this crossbars up.
Well, there you have it. It does indeed fit. I kind of already knew that, but I wasn't 100% sure, and there weren't any videos out there, so I made one. With that said, I advise you to go and check your bolts because a couple of mine were loose. Also, this takes a little longer than the hour Prinsu makes it look like on their website. So keep in mind, it takes a little while, but it's fantastic, it's sturdy, and I'm super excited to start building off of this. Thanks, catch you in the next video.